Unless we can do something like annexation, then get me. Couldn't call tonight's meeting to order. Let's have the roll call.
Kessler.
Here.
Walters.
Here.
Rarden.
Here.
Hewitt. Benner.
Here.
Parton. Here. Crowe.
Here.
Thompson.
Here. Tonight's invocation will be given by Pastor Monty Leichner of the River Church. Probably goes back there somewhere.
I thought he was too. That's my mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay, in that case, Councilman Rarden will do it.
Father, we just thank you for this time that we go about and do the business of our community. Father, we thank you for the many blessings and the things that you have done for our community. Father, we just pray that you be with us the rest of this meeting. Keep your hand upon us and guide us in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start with presentation of approval of minutes of July 9, 2018. Mr. Bear?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the July 9, 2018 meeting as published.
Second.
Motion seconds, approve the minutes, July 9, 2018. Discussion? Question?
Kessler.
Yes.
Walters. Rarden.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Abstain.
Item 1, citizens to be heard, A, Sedgwick County Fire Department. I don't know if
They're out there, sir.
are they back there? Okay. Why don't, come on forward.
They came to see you.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Adam. Fire department. Give a quick rundown of what we did last month. 75 alarms, I believe is what we ran in Haysville proper. That's from the 22nd of June to the 23rd of June. Those are just the ones here within the city limits of Haysville. You guys all have a breakdown in front of you. I think I emailed you guys all out, so you should all have that. $700 total loss for the last 30 days, so we didn't burn up a lot of anything, so that's a good deal. So, you guys have any questions or anything for me?
We've got your written report too, so.
Okay. You guys have questions on that?
Keep up the good work.
Don't see any. Thanks for coming tonight.
So, all right, well, thank you guys.
Thank you. Item B, Laura Atkins. Laura, if you're here, you come forward and again, take your name and address and everything for the record, please.
Yes. Hello, my name is Laura Adkins. I live at 2000 West 95th Street South, Haysville, Kansas 67060. First, I'd like to say that I am not against the idea of a tiny home community for senior citizens, college students, and/or people who would like a smaller carbon footprint. But I am here today to discuss the proposed development at Bergman's Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch. Let's rock and roll and change the world, founded by Bob Johnson. I have several concerns about the project's proposed location. First, Haysville does not have jobs or the proper economy to sustain 2,000 plus proposed homeless. I also understand that you are working on getting public transportation to Haysville, but the proposed bus stops are a long way from the proposed site. You want them to have a readily available resources to make the hand up and their transition to becoming productive citizens, not hinder their abilities by isolating them far from the proper resources necessary to facilitate their transition. It is also my understanding that they will have drug and alcohol treatment at the facility, and they are going to keep the corn maze and pumpkin patch operational with the residents working at and maintaining it. That's only 1 month of revenue, and I see all kinds of issues that can arise from this. I know not all homeless are bad or drug addicts, but I will not allow my son to go there, be it a family outing or a field trip with the school. What happens when someone going through treatment has a mental breakdown, or one of the mentally ill residents flips out? And imagine, God forbid, one of our children step on a needle from an addict who relapsed and becomes infected with HIV, hepatitis, or other bloodborne illnesses. Just let that sink in. Now I'm going to tell a true story. My husband was stationed in California, and we moved to a small mountain community with other service members to get away from crime. It was beautiful and close to ski resorts. Shortly after moving there, a community similar to the proposed one was brought into our town. It destroyed our town. Panhandling aggressively, burglaries, theft, and violent crimes went up, and property values plummeted as the citizens fled the mountain. Do you want to know another statistic that went up? Rape. A military family with 4 girls and 1 boy had 2 of their girls raped, 17 and 13 years old. Raped by members of the brought-in community. The eldest turned to drugs to cope. She turned 18 and is now homeless and addicted to meth. The 13-year-old tried to kill herself several times and has been in treatment facility for over a year now. 2 beautiful little girls that I love were ruined by members of this homeless community. Now, I understand Haysville is already struggling with drugs, crime, and burglaries. We personally have already had 2 since we moved back in 2014. Do we really need more? And I do not have my petition ready for presentation, as we've only been at it since Tuesday, but it is well underway, as I have several members in the community helping, and it should be ready by the next meeting.
Very good. Okay. We appreciate you coming tonight and presenting your information for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to item 2, approval of license and bonds. We have none on the agenda. Item 3, introduction of ordinance and resolutions. A resolution authorizing the offering for sale of general obligation bonds, Series 2018, in the city of Haysville, Kansas.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and ladies and gentlemen of the council. I can't put all this stuff up here. Okay, this is regarding the Orchard Acres and Dirt Street paving projects. At a previous meeting, you have accepted final costs for construction of the projects, held a public hearing related to the projects, and have adopted an ordinance levying special assessments to property owners of Orchard Acres and Dirt Street. We have worked with your city administration to send out notices of assessments to all property owners, notifying them of their special assessments. And currently, they're under a paying period. The property owners have until July 30th to prepay their special assessments, and all others will pay their portion of the special assessments in 15 installments with interest. The resolution for consideration tonight is the bond sale resolution for permanent financing for the improvements. This resolution authorizes George K. Baum to work with city administration to finalize the preliminary official statement, send the notice of bond sale to hundreds of potential bidders, and schedules a competitive sealed bid sale for the GO bonds for August 13th and opening bids at 11 a.m. On July 31st, we will take any amounts received during that pay-in period, use it as a source towards the bond issue, and will sell fewer bonds relative to the amount of pay-in dollars received. Using those amounts, city's cash contribution of $90,744 for the curb and gutter and maybe some other aspects, and $4,310.09 of unspent note proceeds. We will sell and issue the remaining amount in general obligation bonds sufficient to pay off the Series B 2017 temporary notes in the amount of $899,074.74 plus cost of issuance on August 30th. We will come back to your meeting on August 13th after the sale to explain the results and adopt the bond issuance resolution and ordinance. We will also use the results to update our worksheet to spread specials payments after the bond sale to property owners, and we'll deliver such as soon as we can to Bill, and then he can forward that to the county before the deadline and begin collecting specials payments in the next tax cycle beginning in December. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about the process or the bond sale.
Questions of our council? If not, then we need a motion to pass the resolution. Mr. Kessler?
Make a motion we approve the resolution authorizing the offering for sale of general obligation bonds, Series 2018 of the city of Haysville, Kansas.
Second.
Motion second to approve the resolution authorizing the bonds as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll come back on the 13th of August to bring you the results.
Move on to item 4, notice of communications, A, governing body announcements. Mr. Crum?
Just got a couple, I just wanted to thank the businesses and other people in the community that showed support for the Piranhas, for the swim league, and also for welcoming the other teams into town. We got several comments at the meet about how they thought it was really cool. They saw signs coming in and how everything was set up. They thought the meet was running really well. There were 518 swimmers signed up to swim at that meet, so we brought a lot of people into town. From what I heard, Friday afternoon or Friday evening, a lot of the restaurants in town were packed, which was good to hear. And that meet will be back here again next year too, so maybe even next year it can even get a little bigger. And because like I said, it was really great to hear the other teams talk about how neat it was. So I just wanted to thank, and the city helped a lot with that, and I appreciated that. The Haysville, we did take third. Winfield won the meet, and Valley Center took second. We took third, and Derby took fourth. And also wanted to remind everybody that school enrollment's going on right now. It's online, so you get on and do that. And we will have one council meeting before school starts, but just a reminder that school does start on August 16th for students. That's all I have.
Anything else, council? I've got some announcements that Senior Center wanted us to make on July 25th. We have an ice cream sundae bar. July 30th is Cooking with Kim, and August 6th, we have a new chair yoga begins on every Monday at 10. August 11th, they have the Senior Center bake sale on the citywide garage sale day. And August 13th and 14th, there's AARP Smart Drivers class. And then the library wants to make sure everyone knows that their ice cream social is this weekend? Saturday. So if you want to have ice cream, just show up at the library that evening. Mr. Crum?
You said that one, and reminded me, they're also selling garage sale permits at the library for the Friends of the Library.
Correct. Okay. Seeing no other notices, we'll move to old business. We have none. Item 6, other business. A, consideration of publication of notice of the public hearing for the 2019 budget.
You got in your packet the certificate page from the 2019 proposed budget. We'd like to have the budget hearing on August 13th, our next regular council meeting. There's only one change in what you guys saw at the last council meeting when we looked at the budget. No change to the mill rate that was presented, but we did put in there equal revenues and expenditures in the debt service fund to cover the bond issue that Brett was just here talking about for Orchard Acres and Dirk.
So we would need a motion to set the public hearing and publish for December the 13th.
August 13th.
August 13th.
Don't move
Could
that.
try pushing it that far. Ms. Parton?
Make a motion, we set the budget hearing for August 13th and publish it in the paper and everywhere else.
Second.
Motion second to make the notice of publication, public hearing, and the publication. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Move on to item B, is consideration of the Southampton third bids.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On July 19th, we had the bid letting for the development of utilities to service 6 lots in Southampton 3rd Edition. This includes installing paving, stormwater, water, and sanitary sewer. The engineer's estimate for this project was just over $308,000. Meese Construction was the low bidder at a total base bid of $174,099.72. Can answer any questions if you have any.
Would you like to go ahead and authorize then the bid for the 174,099.72? Mr. Kessler?
I can make a motion to authorize the bid to Meese Construction for $174,099.72.
Second.
Motion second to approve the bid of Beast Construction as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Banner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item C, consideration of maintenance of the Emmett Lift Station.
Emmett Lift Station serves the commercial properties just east of Broadway by the Turnpike. Currently, this lift station is operating with just one pump operational. It does have two pumps. The unit requires constant maintenance. The first quote we have is from Ray Lindsay Company, which reflects a brand-new unit not installed. Hickman Environmental Services has proposed a reconditioned unit, including installation. We have done a fair amount of work with Hickman Environmental and asking approval for the reconditioned unit with Hickman Environmental in the amount of $15,000, and this is a budgeted item.
Mr. Crum?
What kind of guarantees that come with
Has a 1-year warranty.
1 year?
Yeah.
Mr. Crum?
I go ahead and make a motion that we approve the bid from Hickman Environmental Services LLCs for $15,000 for the Emmett Avenue lift station replacement.
Second.
Motion second to approve the Hickman Environmental Services, $15,000 as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Banner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item D, consideration of settlement agreement. You've got before you the settlement agreement that was struck with the suit that we had. It releases the city of all liabilities, city pays no funds, so we would just need a approval of the settlement agreement. Mr. Kester?
Make a motion we approve the settlement agreement.
Second.
Motion second to approve the settlement agreement as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Banner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item E, consideration of temporary special application for consumption of alcohol on public property.
This is for a baby shower in the rental room at the Haysville Activity Center on July 28th from 5 to 11 p.m.
Find that bean, his mom can't drink.
Mr. Benner?
I make a motion that we approve the application for the special event for July 28th, 2018.
Second.
Motion second to approve the temporary special events application as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Banner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 7, department reports. A, administrative service as well.
Zach's got an announcement.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This Saturday is our second cruising day. Cruising days are the final Saturday of every month. It'll be from 6 to 10 p.m. At the Historic District. It's not a car show, but a cruise-in. People are free to come as they please. The farmer's market's open, the bank is open, the blacksmith's doing demonstrations, so, correct? Yes? All right. And the warehouse will be open. Free for you to tour. Tequila Ridge will be playing in the gazebo. I think the fire performers might have canceled, but they may be there tentatively. Again, free event, come out. Food trucks will be there too, so you can get some food, see some cool cars, hear some music, and just celebrate being out in town. Thanks.
The clerk, Jane?
I have nothing to add.
And C, police chief.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just wanted to introduce our visiting officer this evening, is Sergeant Becker. He's out in front. He's currently our sergeant on the afternoon shift from 3 to 11. So you say hi to him as you go by. I also wanted to invite everybody to our National Night Out celebration. That'll be August 7th from 6 to 8 over at the Hack and Pool area. There'll be free food, swimming, games, Cole Safety Town, and a lot of good time. We'll also be doing our monthly Coffee with the Cop at the same time. We're going to combine those two events, so that way there won't be a Coffee with the Cop this month. It'll be combined with the National Night Out. So hope to see everybody there on the 7th. Thanks.
Item D, public works, Sean.
The city's contractor will be slurry sealing West Grand Avenue west of Meridian beginning on August 6th. They expect to be completed by August 7th. On August 8th, we have the city's striping contractor scheduled to stripe the pavement. Everything goes well, we hope to have it open August 8th in the afternoon. This is a tentative schedule. Of course, with any weather, this could change, but we are trying to get out there as soon as possible. The road will be entirely closed during this duration. We have communicated with the school district and St. Cecilia. Any updates or changes will be posted on Facebook and also the digital sign at Main and Grand. Thank you.
E, Recreation Director.
Evening, Mayor and Council, several announcements. We are currently taking registration for youth fall soccer and fall volleyball, also latchkey enrollment for the 2018-2019 school year. This Thursday, we will have our Food Truck Thursday. Urban Skillet will be here. Their menu is posted on our Facebook page in case you're wanting to come out. They'll be here from 11 to 1 p.m. Saturday is Pride Committee's annual free day at the pool. The pool is open from 1 to 6:30, so it's free admission. They take care of that. And once you're done there, you can go to the library. They have their free ice cream at 6:30. The pool is going to close on Sunday, August 12th, right before school starts. The splash pad will still be open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. We will have our next movie night at the pool will be Friday, August 17th. It will be at 8:20. You'll be allowed to float on rafts. They do have to be 10 years old to be in there by themselves. The slide in the diving well will not be open, but it is free admission, and we'll be showing the movie Shark Tales. And then lastly, our last event of the pool will be Dog Days. That will be Sunday, August 19th. It's from 1 to 2:30, and it's $5 per dog. That's all I have.
Thank you, Georgie. Item 8, appointments. We have none on the agenda. Item 9, off-agenda citizens to be heard. We have Larry Schoeneman. Is that saying it right, Larry?
Lacey.
Lacey, okay. You look like an R, not a C.
I just wanted to bring something to the attention, maybe to find out if anybody has any questions. I've been talking to past police officers as well as current, and it's come to my attention we've now lost 2 SRO officers, as well as 13 to 14 officers over the last 18 months, which is extremely high turnover rate, even compared to cities much larger than ours. So I'm just bringing it to you guys. Do we know why we are losing this? Is this pay? Is this the job? I mean, that's a large amount, and I'm really concerned about the SRO officers. Our kids love them. And maintaining good cops in the schools that give out good influences and a positive projection in a society today where police are not looked upon positively in many, many cultures, and I'm just wondering why. And if anybody has any answers to why we have so many leaving our community, and most of them aren't leaving the field, they're going elsewhere to work in small communities just like ours.
It's not that the SRO officer, you still have an SRO there officer, it's just a different officer.
Correct, but the ones that we have had are leaving, and many of our officers are leaving. Like I said, between talking to past and present, 13 to 14 over the last 18 months seems like too many. Our community's not able to get to know them, the children aren't able to get to know them, and I'm just curious, it's just a really high turnover rate for a community this small.
And again, that's something we'd have to check into to see
I'll be back next meeting.
if the numbers are truly correct as you're saying, so we can look in and see what the officers that have left, and usually there's a exit interview, I think you do with them, Chief.
We don't do an exit interview.
No exit interview.
I don't know if HR does or not.
So we may not know what those officers, why they're leaving. We'll look into it. And
I
see
think
what
that's something that we should know, right, though? I mean, if somebody leaves, shouldn't we have an exit interview and know why? Regardless, if anybody leaves, if one of you left, I would want to know why. I mean, that's general community curiosity, and as a parent, I really want to know who's in these schools, and, these kids, they grow quite fond of these officers. And I'm not saying we're not going to fill in with equally great ones, but we need to be able to maintain and figure out if we're not, why we're not. Even if it's 5 over the last 18 months, that seems like too many. So, yeah.
We will truly look into it. It's something that we don't have the answer for you tonight.
Okay, thank you.
We have other speakers that are truly wanting to talk about the homeless village that was brought up by KSN, as though there is no proposal in front of the city council for a tiny homeless village at this point. I think people are still wanting to visit about it. So with that, I have Ron Wood. If you come forward, Mr. Wood, and you can state your name and address for the record. We hope that you would spend no more than 3 minutes and give us the information that you'd like for us to hear, please.
This homeless village that is proposed, this guy probably threw it out just to get a reaction.
Sure.
And I am totally against it. It makes no sense whatsoever. I currently work downtown on Douglas and Hillside area, and they recently just put in a halfway house, so to speak, at an old church, and crime has gone up. Vagrants have gone up. Homeless guys have gone up. I'm constantly running these people off of these maintenance areas, this apartment buildings that I maintain. And someone just tried to steal one of the air conditioners. And we've never had this kind of crime and vagrancy in the area. And I'm afraid this is going to turn into that type of a situation. And Wichita is just trying to clean up their city, and they're going to dump that stuff over here in Haysville. And I am totally against it. And if y'all don't do anything about it, then I'll see a bunch of new faces here next year, or whenever elections come around. And it's not a threat. I'm just making a statement that this is totally bogus, and we need to contact KSN and shoot this thing in the bud and get rid of this rumor, because the Salem Township, it has been buzzing since they made this announcement. Facebook has been buzzing. We don't want this in our city, and why not put it over here in Timber Lane? Why not put it over there in Wichita where it belongs? I'm for putting homeless people in a house. Get them established and make them work. But not in Haysville. It don't make no sense. It's idiotic. I think they're just, KSN is probably trying to increase their ratings. And that's all I got to say about it. Thank you.
Before I started, I wanted to make sure that everyone knows there is no proposal we have received from any group. So there's nothing that
I understand.
We have any proposal for zone change. Nothing's happened. KSN did a story that they thought might have been newsworthy. They pulled a bite on myself. That was an ordinance that we were passing to control tiny homes. It wasn't, if you would listen to the whole thing, it was a whole different situation. We were pushing to pass an ordinance to control them, not to be pushing to have those in town. So,
okay.
Anyway, with that then, we have Mike, and I'm going to ask you to give your own last name since I can't read this part of it.
Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you for your time, first of all.
And would you give us your last name, please, Mike?
Fussell. My last name is Fussell.
Okay.
Fussell. And I was here, and I'm sure some of you remember, I was here probably a couple of months ago to approach the council and discuss with you a little bit about some things that were going on at that time with Tyson, and some of the concerns of the local residents with regards to Tyson, and they're possibly putting a plan in here. Again, I come to you again as the same thing I did at that time, which is a concerned property owner, as I'm sure many of these individuals are here with regard to the, I won't even say proposed, but the rumor at this time, let's say rumor, okay, that there's the possibility of some kind of construction, we'll say tiny homes, because that's what's been thrown out there in the news media, as far as on South Meridian at this point, from what I understand. I think, I don't have a problem speaking, that's never been a problem for me, and if you know me, you know that's not a problem. And I know a lot of these people behind me, though, a lot of them are not maybe as forward as I am, and so they're a little bit unwilling to speak, but they're here for the very same reason. If anybody is concerned about that, and I just see a show of hands. And so I know you knew this, and I want you to see this, that there is a lot of concern within the community. I want to add a little caveat. Personally, I do not live, and I've made it very clear before, that I do not live within the city of Haysville. I live south of 79th, right on the edge of the city limits. However, since this falls within the 1.5 mile, I believe, sphere of influence that the city has with regards to things out in the county, being familiar with that from our little Tyson thing, and I fall right in that, and so I feel like I not only have a right, but I have an obligation to come to you and speak to you about this. So first of all, what I'd like to say, I guess, is one of the main reasons I'm here tonight is I've heard some other people make some statements, and I'm sure they've gotten good input and done their research, and I appreciate everything that was said up to this point. But in my mind, I'm a little confused as to, with regards, because I've heard all kinds of things from all over the board, as far as it's going to be homes for seniors, it's going to be 400 square foot homes, which is a cardboard box as far as I'm concerned. People, have to have some place to stay, but it's very insufficient, in my opinion, for anybody to live in there, and I just can't imagine putting some size house in there when we have other homes in the area that are considerably more value than that, and it's going to have a direct impact on the value of those other homes. In fact, I just tonight heard there was some discussion about Southampton 3rd edition. I'm going to assume that is going to be at the corner of Meridian and 79th. No. Okay. Well, I'd heard there was going to be something done there possibly. Bottom line is this. One of the very few areas that, in my mind and in my opinion, that this city has for opportunity of growth of additional residences and therefore additional revenue is south. Okay. Maybe some east, I don't know about west, there's a lot of land out there, but there's a lot of things going on. But south seems to be the direction of movement for the community. And I just can't justify in my own mind building something of this nature, whether it's homeless or seniors or whatever, of such low income value as what I've heard proposed, that could end up being right in the middle of any additional growth to the south of the community. So that's one thing I'm concerned about personally. I've heard that it could be at Bergman's, it might be at the property that Vanderhoff had for sale just north of there. Either way, they're going to be both right in my backyard, literally, okay? So I have real concern in that area. And I will be speaking to the county commission also, because I understand that they're the ones that will probably have a lot of the final say on this. And so I will probably be speaking to them. But, so I don't know. And I think that's part of why I'm here tonight is, has any thought been given to having an open community forum with regards to this? Is that something that you would want to be part of, or is this something that we maybe as a community need to approach the proposed builder or a developer? And I mean, we always have that option, I understand that. And so I'd like to, I'd just like to throw that out there and see how much you would want to participate or be part of that. I'm concerned about the fact that if it is developed out there, that ground is all low lying. I'm concerned about what's going to happen, who's going to cover the cost of any additional drainage that's going to have to take place, and is that drainage going to impact me, okay, as a landowner, a nearby landowner. Probably one of the other things I'm really concerned about is you say you haven't voted on anything yet and haven't given any kind of approval to the thing. But I know this has all been out in the public eye and in the media, and I'm sure being talked about everywhere and at a lot of different levels. levels. So I really feel like, as a council, whether you vote or whether you make it part of the meeting, you have an influence. You have a realm of influence that you can either say, you could put something to bed like this right now and say, no, ain't gonna happen down here. We're not interested. Or you could just drag the thing out and drag the thing out and drag the thing out. I prefer that you do the prior and just squelch it, put it down right now and get it over with. Because one of the things I'm concerned about is annexation. My understanding is that if this takes place, there's the possibility that the city of Haysville might annex or will annex that area, which I think makes perfect sense, especially if you have to run utilities out to it. And my concern with that, obviously, is the possibility of me being annexed into the community, which at this time I have absolutely no desire to do. And so I guess I would question you, any of the council members, is that a possibility, that if you annex that area, that you could annex me and my neighbors? There's probably about 4 of us right there that would be affected. And we'd be just north of there.
And I'll try to answer some of your questions once you're...
Okay. And finally, the last thing I have is, my question is this: was the planning commission ever approached about this? Were they ever asked about this, and as to whether or not they approved of it or not? The planning commission.
Is that your last one?
Yes.
Okay. The way this would work, we have not had anyone come to us for any zone change, any proposal. Nothing has come to this council, or nothing has come to this city to have that type of homeless. It was a proposal by this Bob Johnson, who showed up at our planning commission when we were trying to pass the ordinance to control tiny homes. That's what happened, and the whole thing got started at that point.
Okay.
KSN has expanded it as to what his dream is, I guess.
Okay.
No, there's nothing going on anywhere. And I'm not saying that anyone can come in and try to do whatever they want to do at this point. The property that they're talking about is the Bergman property, but that doesn't touch the city limits of Haysville. We cannot do that without an island annexation, which means it's got to be approved by the county commissioners. So we can't just go out and annex it without approval of the county commissioners. It also makes no sense for us to go out and annex that into the property at this point. Because as you just said, the amount of dollars and cents it takes to extend services, we're required to do a service proposal if we were to annex that property. We not are looking at doing any annexation to the south at this point.
Okay.
If a proposal did happen to come in, and there isn't any anywhere, KSN has inflamed this thing to a point of everyone thinking that it's going to happen tomorrow. If there was, this council will never vote on it, because it goes to our planning commission. Planning commission then makes a recommendation to the MAPD, which is the Metropolitan Area Planning Department. They then make a recommendation to the county commissioners. County commissioners then will approve or deny whatever zone change may happen. Again, if our planning commission was to say, no, there's no way, even if our council was to say, no way, even though it never comes to us, the county commission can override anything that we do, because it is in the county, it is not in our city limits, it's just only in our area of influence.
Right. So, but the planning commission, you're telling me at this point, has not made any kind of vote, has not made any
Well,
kind
there
of...
isn't anything to vote on.
Okay.
There's nothing for them to vote on, because there's been no zone change application done.
Okay. And that is my sole function here tonight, is to try to get some clarification on some things, and I appreciate your feedback there. I just don't want people thinking I'm some kind of heartless ogre or anything.
No, we understand that. Right, there's property values involved, there's a lot of things,
Sure.
as Ms. Atkins has said, involved in doing this. it's a very large proposal these people are talking about wanting to do. That would become a very expensive proposal because we would not pay for extending services to those people. They would have to pay for extending any services, and we don't have to extend services to them.
Right.
But that doesn't say that through the county, they could go to county standards and have it happen. We could say no in our area of influence, county commissioners could override us.
Sure, I understand. But I did personally appreciate what the city of Clearwater did with regards to the Tyson when they actually put out a formal statement that they were not in favor of it. It's obviously, again, the county commission could have done what they wanted to do. I feel they made the right choice in that area. And so, that's something to consider in the future. I would like for you to consider it as a council. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker, Brian Ramsey. Hi.
My name is Brian Ramsey. I live at 1201 East Riley Avenue. I, again, am against the tiny homes for homeless. I don't think I need to waste any more people's time. I think everybody's pretty much said their piece, and, we are against it. We all raise families here, and right now we don't really want to destroy it. So, that's my point.
Very good, thank you. And the last speaker card I have is Matthew Wood.
My name's Matthew Wood. Again, I'm here for the tiny homes community. My only issue is, for them to build this, they're going to have the city's help. And to nip this in the bud, we need the city to say no. Right now, say no. That's the only way this is going to stop. If we shut down our community, don't let them have transportation, City of Wichita bus and all that, there's no way they'll build down there. So you guys need to get together and put out a formal statement, in my opinion, and say no. And then nip it in the bud. And that's pretty much my opinion, and I think a lot of other people's opinion here, that it's up to you guys. And you guys can control the issue right now.
Thank you. That's all the speakers cards I have. We always open this, even though you haven't had speaker's card. We would hope we could have something to say. It's not in addition to what people have already said at this point. Seeing none, then we're going to close that session of our meeting and move on in our agenda. Thank you for all coming. Then move on to next item on our agenda, which is bills be paid. Bills be paid for the last half of July. Ms. Pardon?
Make a motion, we pay the bills for the last half of July.
Second. Motion and second to pay the bills the last half of July. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Spinner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 12, consent agenda, we have nothing. Item 13, council items, council concerns. Council? Mr. Ryden?
I just kind of want to touch on, we had a gentleman come to the meeting last time and discuss the bridge. I just would like to interject that Commissioner O'Donnell will be here in the city of Haysville Friday. If anybody wants any issues or anything to talk to him about this bridge, then feel free to come down here Friday. I think it's at 8 o'clock.
Let's say 9.
9 o'clock.
9 to 11:30.
10:30.
10:30?
10:30.
9 to 10:30 this time, okay.
It's
this Friday.
usually 9 to 11,
Okay.
and he said that he was only available until 10:30.
Okay, but
This
anyway,
Friday.
yeah, if anybody wants to, the commissioner will be here, and this is your opportunity to come down and talk to him. The bridge does belong to the county. The city of Haysville, we've done our part. We've done our due diligence, so feel free to come in and talk to the commissioner.
Mr. Crum?
I was gonna say, most of them just stepped out, but that would also be an opportunity for people that are concerned about the possibility of the tiny house development that they're talking about. That would be in Mr. O'Donnell's district as well, and so they could come and speak with him about that as well.
Seeing no other concerns with item B, council action request update.
Good evening again. In regards to 6415 Keystone, as was updated on July 13th, no violation were observed. The court case was dismissed upon payment of court costs. The case is considered closed. And 6400 Osage, again, the court date is on August 7th, 2018, and they still do have some violations currently. Thank you.
Okay. Item 14, adjournment.
Mayor, council, make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion and second to adjourn. Discussion, question.
Kessler.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Barton. Yes. Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.